I thought so.
Uh-oh.
We are live now. Hey, so we just fired
Hey!
our third unpaid intern of the night.
Oh no!
He forgot to hit the live button. We had a hell of a pre-race show. Not gonna lie.
It was
Welcome
the
to the
best.
Steel Gladiator Showdown 160. And remember all those notes that you had earlier that you so expertly set out? We're not gonna have to say those again because nobody heard them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through everything all over again. I'm a little bit sad about this one. Oh man.
But
Dude,
but
we
with
had
that, to start
Shaquille
things
O'Neal.
off-
He actually showed up. He was in the pre-race show. Eminem, Pitbull showed up. Who
Yeah,
else?
pre-race concert. It was the
Oh
best.
god.
It was. You guys missed the best opening part of a broadcast we've ever had and ever probably will have, and I don't think we're ever going to be able to duplicate it.
No, we need
I'm
to
just
make a
glad Vic
tribute.
said something.
But anyway, Vincent Isabella did get the pole. We were talking in the open that did not exist on live on air about this being his favorite track. We're going to see how he performs tonight. But again, kind of what we talked about in the opening too, Matthew. You got to check those feelings at the door. But I think we might see a little bit of those tempers flaring here tonight at some point. Maybe even a little bit of payback.
Oh yeah, there's two guys in particular here I want to mention. David Westergreen asked him how he was feeling about his shots tonight for a good run, maybe to make up some ground in the chase. He told me zero potential for a good run and 100% chance of returning some favors because he got into it with some guys from last week. And what better track to do that and get payback at than Bristol?
Yeah, Bristol is usually the place that it gets done if it's not real life or on the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. It is the last great Coliseum for a reason, and we're going to see that tonight as you see the starting lineup here for the Steel Gladiator Showdown 160. And again, we had to point out Brett Jones, top 5 qualifying run. He had 2 top 5s, or 1 top 5, and another top 10 last week at Charlotte, really starting to flex his muscles here in the OSCA Xfinity Series. I will expect him to have a pretty good run in that 89 machine.
You know, you also had, I was going to say Kynan Jones also in the top 5 too.
Yeah, and he's a guy, again, he comes in every week and he says, there's no confidence out there, but he's been showing a lot of speed as of late, and at this point where he is in the chase, we've seen him maybe gamble a little bit more than he would probably like to, and it almost pays off. As we've seen a couple weeks ago where he almost got a win, I believe it was at Dover, just wasn't quite able to make it to the end. And as the field's rolling off, we do have to say happy birthday to Seth Rawls. I hear he's having a good night so far tonight.
Cheers, Seth.
Yeah, the big 2-1.
Yep.
And I've never seen anyone look more beautiful in a birthday tiara.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I had to bring that up. Hey, he made.
Yeah, this is
Seth
him
Rawls.
all night.
Oh, party, yeah.
Oh god.
If he made me watch him take a drink, I had to bring that up. So he looked beautiful, he looked good, and he looked like he's having a good time, and hopefully he's tuning in and having a little fun while he's watching the race.
Whose
here
birthday
tonight.
again?
Seth Rawls.
Seth Rawls is he's on chat saying that for every caution he will take a shot. So
God, he's
happy
already a little
birthday.
tipsy.
Wow. Have 911 on speed dial.
as a company, I cannot stress enough. Please don't do this. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
but as a fan, have fun.
Driver's about to have some fun here too.
Again, don't do this at home.
Don't see what you're about to see attempted at home, or what Seth Rawls is doing
It's
behind the
shots
scenes.
of
But
water.
the race truck is off. Yeah, shots of water. We might see some shots go as we get the green flag. Vincent Isabella leads the charge, and he's going to clear. Kian Rally had started on the outside, and we are underway here at Bristol at the last great Coliseum. Vincent's lead lap number 1 of those top 3 so far. They're checking out a little bit over Kynan Jones and Brett Jones, the Jones brothers.
Does it shock you? Who are always the same guys that jump out to a huge lead immediately? It's these same guys always, isn't it? They're not afraid to go after it. Oh, caution's out already.
Caution is out.
Of water.
And those are the guys who usually go 110%. if we go to the multicam, we see a little smoke there in front of the leaders. And
oh my goodness!
Man,
oh
we
wow!
had a flip already.
So,
Is that the two
a
shots?
flip here at Bristol. That was Dustin Dewar.
Oh, he almost took Westergreen with him.
Oh,
Oh, he got Dusty though.
Lineman, yep. Lineman kind of got loose, hit that apron. It looked like overcorrected it.
Rashid Cole's also involved.
Dustin Dewar.
Did see Rashid Coles with a missing nose. I think he just. Here we go. Oh no.
So.
Oh, and you saw smoke
Anyways,
there.
I'm
That's
sorry.
Oh, the
engine.
54. No, well, from what I'm hearing, there's talk about something being intentional, but from what from what let's see here, it just looks like Lineman got a little bit on the apron.
Not the
Yeah,
curb.
nothing intentional here.
Yes, I'm not quite
Which
sure
David-
what.
David's mad. David he's using some expletives. He's mad at someone.
Yeah,
David.
it looks like in anything that happened out on the racetrack. I mean, I could see if maybe Dewar's mad after that, or I'm not quite sure what led up to this.
Do we know
but
who
it
he's
looks like-
mad at?
I don't know, but he was talking a lot about how he got treated badly on the racetrack last week. So he's not really looking for finishes tonight. He's
Let's
looking
take a
for
look
payback.
at him on the green flag. See if maybe we see anything odd, because we're not even a one to go yet.
Actually,
Alright,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're good.
Yeah, we might have to see what led up to this, because again, we hear in the driver's chat tempers flaring here at Bristol already.
Didn't take that long.
And it didn't take long at all. I believe on lap 3, already seeing payback maybe being told or something.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing happens unless he thought
Yeah.
that maybe. I don't know. Are we sure it's him?
He queued up and he said it's the other word for donkey.
Oh,
With the
okay.
word jack in front. He
Oh,
called somebody
okay.
a something.
Jackalope?
A jack.
Jackalope,
ass.
yeah.
There, I said it.
So hopefully we got the jackalopes out of the way. Vincent Isabella leads into the green flag. Big jump again for that number 1 Scooby-Doo Ford. And hopefully there's not a whole lot of rut-row shaggies going on here as we just completed the first caution. The top 3 still between Isabella, Beers, and Rally.
I gotta say,
We
that's
cut away from
2
it in the
shots
last
of
moment.
water. For the
We
flip.
didn't catch it on the screen there, but Beers gave Kian a huge shot. Kian went sailing down into turn 1.
Why do you sound like
Able
Shaggy
to
right now?
save it. Rut-row. Rut-row, Scooby. And here comes Johnny Eckert trying to work his way into the top 5 around Brent Jones, but Brent Jones has that top
Oh
side.
no!
Oh, I think we had a car spinning. Osborne.
No caution.
Staying
No
green.
caution.
We're still good. We're still
Okay.
good.
And I think I just saw a pass of the 32 of Dustin Dewar, so after his flip, still out there grinding away, albeit maybe without a hood or a front bumper. But that we might see a little bit more of that tonight as it goes along. Osborne keeps it rolling. We stay under green, lap 11. As you talked about, Matthew, these laps quickly wind down, so these guys trying to work their way up through the field, there's not a whole lot of time to do it.
Another thing we talked about that didn't get caught on the greatest pre-race show of all time was lane choice. I'm seeing a 50-50 split of guys on the bottom and guys on top. You can run just about anywhere, it looks like.
Yeah, it just depends on how you kind of feel it. You see some guys even, I've seen Johnny Eckert run the high side one lap, go low. So there's a, it's good because I think it's going to make for more green flag side-by-side racing. But sometimes guys might get stuck in the lanes they don't want to choose. As you see it before, Johnny Eckert was trying to work on Brent Jones. Brent Jones working that high side, and he's able to stay ahead there.
Who is this?
Evans.
Oh, this is Zach. Zach Evans.
All right.
Oh, gets the
Whoa.
wall.
He's
Oh.
good. He's still me fine.
He's still fine. You know what's fine about Zach Evans? Those racing gloves. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, and we
caution,
do have a
caution.
out on the caution on Speedway.
Oh, it's Nick and Delicato and Chris Jordan.
Oh no.
That's another shot of water.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
Seth.
our
I
car.
hope you're hydrating. Oh, a little sideways. Oh, contact. Oh, it gets him twice. Oh, and in Delgado both times really nowhere to go. And Jordan really didn't have. I mean, Bristol, it feels like he got more room to save it, and he almost did. But there's sometimes so many cars close to you. Got loose there, got that shot, didn't help him there, and then turned around again, collecting the 7th of Indelgado. So it's Bristol, baby. That's what happens, and things happen so quick.
Now we're going to see if anybody dares to take tires this early. Only 17 laps in.
Yeah, 17 laps in, and you know, kind of unaccustomed to what OSCA halves are usually do. You probably won't be needing to pit. I believe the fuel run is, I think 100 to 120 laps.
Correct,
so
correct.
You should be good on fuel, but as you said, tires could be a big factor if they'll make these guys a little faster. So it's gonna be interesting. So far, it looks like leaders staying out.
I was actually about to talk about it. We got one coming. I was going to talk about it in the I never got a chance to talk about this one. Robert Hill, currently the only car coming down pit road. He told me, you know, he's out of the mathematically he's eliminated from that championship hunt right now. He told me if there's an opposite strategy, he has stopped.
He's just stopped.
Oh,
He
I wonder.
told me, whoa, what is this?
Did he miss the
because
stall?
I believe this was something that I believe I was talking to some drivers. It's not a single pit lane. It's the
full
dual
around.
pit lanes.
Yeah.
You don't have to go all the way around. So he went probably down the wrong pit, thinking it was going to be a single pit.
So we're good. So as I was saying, he's going to be the guy to take the opposite strategy. Watch him to stay out later. He says he's going to want to stay out later. Watch him. He will stay out when everybody pits. That's exactly what this is.
Well, and also per request, Robert Hill is in this race. That's what Robert Hill told me to say too. And there you see him.
Okay.
And I fulfilled my obligations. You're welcome, Robert.
He wanted you to say that he's in the race?
Yep. And
I did it. Rawls,
yeah.
On chat saying that was a painful drink to take as a team owner. And of course, drink being a water-based liquid.
It's all right,
Seth, when you own about 50 cars, especially here at Bristol, it might not be a good night. But so far, at least only one car involved. But you know, still overall, I think as far as carnage is concerned, you know, a lot of these cars, especially up there in the top 10, they look all relatively clean. No bumps or bruises on many of these machines.
It's been pretty tame.
Tame for the most part, although still haven't figured out what quite the drama that was played out in the driver's chat after that first caution, but we'll see how this drama unfolds now. We get the restart here on lap 21 of 80. Vincent Isabel once again gets a good jump on the restart. And those boys, Rally and Beers, trying to follow suit. Kynan Jones still hanging on to that 4th spot, having an awesome run. And still, I think Kynan's been either running in the top 10 or top 5 in a lot of these playoff races. It's just getting that luck or maybe that strategy just right to, you know, get the results from it.
You know, he's in a rare spot right now. And I say that because he doesn't traditionally run in the top 5. But, you know, you can run kind of at that back half of the top 10 and bad things still happen. He's qualified up front, and he hasn't really faltered. He's actually one of the faster guys in that top 5. He's running in a spot where he's ahead of all the bad stuff he's ahead of most of the bad stuff that could happen. So this is an extremely impressive run from Kynan, and with so much still to be gained on the season as far as points positions, you know, this is exactly what he needs.
Yeah, and he's doing good, and he's even seen pressure from the likes of Johnny Eckert, DJ Weeks, and able to hold him off. As we see one guy, Johnny Eckert, kind of falling back a little bit, and just to note, his teammate there in the 97, as we ride on board here with Johnny Eckert, that's the guy who's, you know, probably he's second in points.
He's coming Rome.
He's won a couple halves, and yeah, it's coming Rome, and this could be a battle, you know, if DJ can capitalize, if Johnny keeps falling back, DJ keeps moving forward, this could be a really good points night for that 97.
Yeah, there's two sides to this because the gap is 34 points. Weeks needs a big night. The problem for Weeks is Johnny Eckert. We've ran 12 halves and short tracks in the history of OSCA. Eckert has finished top 5 in 8 of those. And I think the biggest thing here, Eckert is actually on an extremely impressive streak. The last 7 halves in a row on short tracks. That dates back all the way to season 2 at USA. Johnny Eckert has finished top 5 7 in a row. So I mean,
Wow.
I mean anything can happen. It's Bristol, but basically what I'm trying to say is if you're looking to make up some ground on Johnny Eckert, the short track might not be the best place to do it.
Yeah, and right now Johnny kind of collecting himself right now alongside teammate DJ Weeks battling for that 6th position. It looks like kind of either if they're in their preferred line, Johnny taking the top, DJ taking the bottom. And there you see Dylan Thomas in that 03 trying to hug that bottom line. We've seen him do it in that qualifying lap, but yet to crack the top 10 right now. As we are nearing halfway on lap 32 of 80 here in half number 1. Again, no inverts here in the chase. So, any position you can gain right now is going to get you in a better starting position, better finishing position, obviously, for the points. Now we see Dylan move up to the top there. You see Thomas Capuano right outside the top 10 trying to chase down Ray Bracing that 69. And how about Cody Mclean? He had a decent solid run, I believe it was last week at Charlotte.
Yep.
Seen him near the front.
Oh, caution, Western
caution is out.
Green.
Uh-oh. What could this have been?
Oh boy, was this payback to the payback to the payback?
Looks like it was a little bit of 3 wide somewhat compounding this. It got a little complicated here off the turn.
The 9 did not expect to be 3 wide.
Oh! Is that Chris Jordan that got him there?
I believe Jordan got involved. The 4 of Chris Jordan just tapping Westergreen. It looked like, a little bit of netcode.
Yeah.
I hear Vic calling out netcode as well.
No. There was going to be contact regardless.
They would have hit.
They were going to hit. You're right.
Here, let me go bird's eye view, and let me walk you through it here. That was netcode. That was almost contact right here. Let me slow it down here. Right here, that number 9, as we have the majority of the leaders going down pit road, except for the one of Vincent Isabella. Actually, a couple others, but we'll go over that in a bit. Right there, the 9 expected. I'm not sure who the orange car is to still be just them 2 battling. He didn't expect them to go 3 wide, so he assumed that the orange car would have stayed up on the outside lane, and the 9 would have gone up and taken the middle as expected. However, the advantage that orange car had, he tried to dive into the middle, not really expecting what was going on, but dove it into the middle, maybe trying to get a run there to sneak by. And unfortunately, the 9 was making its way there, and it made its way down there.
And you know what? All just happened so fast.
It happened so fast. And one thing I do have to disagree with you, though, Carlos, is that car is red.
I'm not going to argue with you too much on that one. You tell me red, I'll be like, okay, yeah, sure. Context matters. Context matters.
Yeah. Red car stayed
Brown
out
doesn't even exist.
Osborne.
Brown is just orange but darker.
Ooh.
It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the top 5 stayed out.
But to note, Robert Hill, who came down last caution.
And I think the biggest asterisk there is Robert Hill was actually running about 8th, 9th, 10th place before he came down pit road. He did not gain a single spot on that last run. I have to believe he was just saving the tires and looking to jump these guys. I'm really curious to see how much tire he was able to save and how much more he's got than the guys on old and fresh tires.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, even with Vincent Isabella, who's probably burnt up his tires a little bit being the leader, but maybe we can get a little more context of what happened on that last. Is that we do have David Westergreen up here in the booth. He's coming out of the infield care center, and kind of a rough start here for you in half number 1, David. Tell us what happened in that last wreck.
I mean, guy can't hold a lane, can't complete a lap in practice, and then comes out and smacks into everybody on track. And I mean, it's no wonder, no one likes driving with him out there. So.
So yeah, the tempers seem to be flaring up a little bit. Elmo, so you see Elmo's on fire.
Yep,
Uh,
good place for that.
So are you done as we see one lap to go to green, or are we going to expect to see you back out there?
I'll go back out there and fucking wipe him out.
Oh
right.
my! Get him out of here, boys.
Oh yeah.
Somebody
right.
pull him back. Wow.
Right. So
Woo!
we
It's
apologize.
Bristol, baby.
It's Bristol, and yeah, we apologize for any of the actions
Apologies.
yeah, over the air there. Just again, the heat of the moment here at
Kids, don't
Bristol
repeat that.
Motor Speedway. Yeah. At least some kid out there can say, "Oh, I heard Dad say it." Or, like he finally won't take the blame. It's going to be west to green there. But and we are back to green flag racing. Vincent Isabella getting a good jump once again. I think needs to as those fresh tires.
Oh,
should be
halfway
coming up.
caution!
Oh.
73!
Kian Jones, no!
No caution. No caution. I apologize. No caution.
Oh,
Caution,
man.
unfortunate, and he's
Oh,
going to
there's
lose
gonna
a
be a
lap
caution.
here pretty quick.
He's
Is he
still
gonna
parked
tow?
down there. Field's coming by now.
He's staying there. He's off track according.
And he's just not able to get up and
There we
get in
go.
the groove. Now he's got a burning around. A very respectable move, but unfortunately it hurts him pretty bad. And I see Osborne trying to work on Vincent Isabella. We just seen him involved in that last caution, as we all well know. But looks like he was trying to look on the outside of Isabella, and here comes Kian Rally in the 75. I almost went back to the kind of Kian jumble tongue.
Yeah, this is interesting the way the tires are looking right now. It looks like Kian's advantage is marginal at best, but it's there for sure.
It's there for sure, and I think once you get up to Isabella, it's going to be one thing to catch him, another thing to pass him. But he is going to have about 35 laps to get it done here, so he can be patient and try to let Vincent burn up his tires. There you see a couple Mohawk Foundation Fords battling for the 5th position, or the 4th position. Sorry.
I think Robert can hang on with those tires. I don't know if it was late enough in the race to pull the strategy move yet, but being off cycle is usually a good thing at a track you're trying to make some special things happen at. So let's see how it works out for him. Whoa, he has a moment there off the corner.
Oh, he pushes up, able to hang on, but he's going to lose a couple spots. And as you see, Kian Rally getting the lead over Vincent Isabella, so fresh tires do prevail. Now Osborne's tires starting to heat up a little bit. He drops a couple more spots, trying to hang on to that top 5, but I think the fresh tires, as you said, are going to prevail. As he's now dropping out of the top 5 as DJ Weeks getting around. Ooh, a little kiss between Beers and Hill.
The kiss of death.
Beers tries to work his way up through the field with his fresh tires. So right now it does appear those fresh tires are winning overall.
Yeah, and that's going to be Beers has already had a couple run-ins with some guys, Kian earlier and Kenton. The most fun response I think I got was from Austin Beers. He told me this whole time he's been going 90%. He's going, his word for word was going for broke, and that he's going to be 100%. Doesn't care who he's got to move out of the way.
So he doesn't care whose feelings he hurts. He's banking on they left him at the gate, which as we already know that's sometimes hard to do for these drivers. But right now he is trying to works his way up into the 4th position, working his way past
Caution.
but caution is out.
Carpenter.
Oh, my hand at Isabella there with contact.
Because now it's going to be interesting to see what some of these drivers do. Like
Chris
Isabella,
Gordon.
who hasn't been pit.
Chris Jordan, Ray Bracey, and Zishan Dura looks like involved here.
And Carpenter as well.
Oh, it's already happened. Oh my.
Oh,
Carpenter,
Zishan-
yeah.
oh,
Oh my
oh.
goodness.
Wow. That,
Well then.
wow. He kind of slid in there. There was a lot going on there left to unpack. We'll see what... Oh, wow. Wow, there was a lot. There. Yeah. You see what happened on screen there. It was a lot of ping-ponging around, guys getting into the wall, and just kind of a chain reaction.
I think Chris
Would
kind
have
of
been a
just drove
perfect time
into
for
it.
that spare animation.
Yeah, it would have been. the little insult to injury there. This looks like what started here between Wallgren and Capuano. Oh! It seemed like another thing, just a surprise 3 wide kind of triggered that whole ordeal.
Isabella, by the way, amongst all this, Isabella on pit road with Cody Mclean, Robert Hill.
Alex Kenton, Brian Osborne come down pit road as well, getting his service done. I think Capuano wasn't expecting the 29 of Zach Rogers to be there after they kind of got bottled up and came across the nose. It was almost reminiscent of what Austin Dillon did in the Coke 600 there.
Yep.
And again, that kind of triggered everything behind it, what we saw. So 25 laps to go. Kian Rally gets the lead, holds on to it. I'm gonna be curious now that we bunched the field up. We've seen Myhan work his way up through there, muscle his way up to into the second position now. Austin Beer is going to be starting in third. Then you see Johnny Eckert again. The only guy I compare him to in real life is Kevin Harvick in his prime. No matter where he is, where he's running at some point, he's going to be up there in the top 5 in contention for a win. And right now he is sitting in 4th.
Don't look now, though. I mean, what's up, Carlos?
I want to point out Monasati's on chat saying, hey, he said he missed the race due to internet issues, but he's also cheering on for Vincent.
Oh,
nice.
Right.
Vincent is 14th currently, I believe, the first car on fresh tires. I want to say 14th. Yes.
So he's got a longer way to go than I believe Kian restarted, inside the top 10, well inside the top 10.
Oh,
so
yes.
Vincent has got a mountain to climb here and not a lot of time to do it. I believe if we get the 1 to go here.
Yep,
my eyes are on Austin Beers here.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys are going to go 100%. 110%. I think that 19.
Thank you, Carl.
Wow.
right before that caution, Austin Beers blew like four guys' doors off. Like he just drove right by them. So I just had to say, I think this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting restart indeed. It is down to crunch time here to conclude half number 1. 4 cautions there for Seth Rawls. As we get back going green. Oh, spinning on the tires. Johnny Eckert and Kian get a good start. Looks like a little bit of damage there on the back end of the 90. That might have been right before the caution. So now Beers,
oh my goodness,
man, he's going to be trying to make up that time he lost on the restart, trying to work around Dallas Myhan for that 3rd position. And don't look now, here comes Dylan Jones.
Dylan Jones?
Or Dylan Thomas, I'm sorry. Wow. That's a different league.
Man. Hey, this is not what these guys need right now. Beers and Weeks are running well, but Johnny Eckert is P2. They do not need the points leader with 4 halves on the season left running second.
Yeah, that was almost the perfect restart there for Johnny Eckert. And, since I said Jones, and as we panned on him, how about Brent Jones getting back in the top 10 after the pit cycles, trying to work his way back up?
Oh,
see if he can work his way up to the top 5. Oh,
Robert Hill!
Caution!
The 15!
Osborne!
Oh, Osborne! Oh, boy. So, yeah, it keeps getting rougher. As you said, these guys kind of mid-pack on back. That's kind of the rough area, no matter who you are. What happens, and again, almost a 3-wide situation.
That's what it is every time.
Yeah, John Lynch kind of triggering that between Lynch and Jones.
I think I see Kynan almost break a little bit loose too. I think they come up on the 6 of Zach Evans so quickly. I think he cuts it left almost in a panic kind of way, and Lynch is coming up the track because he expects it to be there, and they just came together. It's that 3 wide off the corner that kind of pops up right at the last second.
Yeah, you're in that hornet's nest of so many things can happen. I mean, if you let off that throttle one little bit or bobble, there's going to be someone to fill that gap. Let's see what Brian Osborne saw
Just updating you guys. Oh, wow. Okay. He gypped me. Austin Beers almost ducked down pit road. I was going to say. Never mind then.
Oh, wow. And
Don't worry
that
about
looked like a hard hit in the door for Osborne of Dustin Dewar. So Osborne, he might be down some power now. I believe
He
Brett
actually
Jones
had
came down
damage
pit road.
before.
I think Vic just says this to make people not as mad at each other. He said netcode.
He did say netcode. Yeah, I think he is just trying to water down the
Keep the
tempers that could
peace.
flare. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But I mean, really, it wasn't. It didn't seem like there was much. You know, again, I think, like you said, Jones kind of reacting what was happening in front of him and being, you know, already 2 wide, almost going 3 wide in that scenario. It's not a lot of room here at Bristol.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Vincent Isabella is up to 8th on those fresh tires now. He's coming.
He's coming, and we're gonna see now. Austin Beers is in that 4th position. He's in that spot where Johnny Eckert was on the last restart. So we'll see if he can get that good jump. You've seen the inside might have a disadvantage here on the restarts. I would believe that Kenton chooses that top side once again once he gets to pick that lane. Or Kian. Did I say Kenton? I might
He did. It's okay. You've regressed.
Yeah, I'm getting worse.
I'll say who really struggled on that last restart was Dallas Myhand. I'll be restarting 3rd. What I'm thinking is if he struggles again, it'll give Eckert a spot to slot right down, or Beers to go right under Eckert. This could get messy very fast.
Wow. Kian choosing the inside lane this time. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Dallas does struggle. Johnny Eckert could have that opening. We'll see how this plays out. We'll get the green flag with 13 laps to go.
Going to be decided fairly quickly here within the first 1 or 2 laps who's going to have a shot at this thing if it goes green.
Yeah, this restart is going to be important. We'll see how this plays out. Pace truck getting ready to dive on pit road. We're back green flag racing. Kian gets a great restart. And it looks like Dallas did get a better restart than the last time, but that leader just able to jump up way too quick. So Dallas falls back into the 4th position. And here comes Austin Beers trying to chase down that 90 of Johnny Eckert.
Here comes Vincent.
Vincent on those fresher tires, working that inside of Dylan Thomas, not Jones.
Yep.
In that 03.
I don't think he's going to get it done on the bottom.
It's going to be tough for him. You see him lose a lot of that run coming on a corner exit. Seems like as this run's gone on, it seems like the preferred line is starting to be that top side. We see a couple guys diving down low, and they're able to make it work for a short period of time.
Big wreck.
Oh no! Our in-car
It's a parking
camera.
lot.
Oh, Brett Jones. Zach Evans. We might have an in-car.
not happy.
Yeah, our in-car camera is toast.
Yeah, that might have been Brett
Looks
Jones
like to
again
me
having that good day.
It looks like, I'm watching it over here, it all started with Capiano and Pierre. It looked like Capiano was claiming he got pinched, but I think he just came up. I'm not really...
You know, I see Dewar involved again there, and I'm surprised his
I don't
car's
know.
rolling.
I'm surprised he's still on the racetrack.
Man, he is gritting this one out. It has not been the half, but hey, he's running 17th at the moment. We'll see what started this whole ordeal. Yep, well, Capiano just washing up the racetrack right into Peeler.
A lot of wrecked race cars. What an expensive night. I mean, it's Bristol.
It's Bristol. It's still amazing how a lot of these guys, we've seen a little bit of damage to Johnny Eckert. I believe Beers has a little front end damage. But for the most part, those guys that are running the top 5 pretty clean cars. And these 2 cars were clean before that until this happened.
I'll say the only 2 spotless cars in the top 10 are Kian Rally and DJ Weeks. Not a scratch on them.
And at least for Kian, he's trying to keep it that way as we're getting under 10 laps to go. And Peeler I think he was trying to stay on that outside after he got spun, but...
Oh, the Me Fine car. Not so fine.
Not so fine.
Me, no fine. Oh,
Coffee!
Yep. And he loses the hood, gets it back.
me still fine?
Yes, kind of. I mean, he's still able to support the Me Fine Foundation.
Yep, they're still there.
Yeah, they're still there. So 7 laps to go at the moment. Still, so we'll probably get a restart with less than 5 to go. And I think it will go to a green-white checkered here to conclude lap. Half number 1.
Are you saying a green-white checkered, assuming we get another caution? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's probably gonna happen.
So you don't think they're done wrecking? I don't.
Yeah, especially at this point. It's gonna be interesting, and especially guys, they know we've seen how Kian's gotten those great restarts, or anytime whoever has been the leader, Vincent Isabella, when he got the lead on the restarts, he got some good jumps. So we could see some of these guys getting pretty aggressive once we get going back to green, and see if anyone can time it out a little bit better than what they have been so far.
I'm gonna say, if I'm Austin Beers or Johnny Eckert, I'm gonna guess when he's gonna go and just punch the gas and hope it works. Because I mean, even if you try to watch, even if you anticipate it well, with how slow they're going, getting a good jump is more important than ever. Because speed differences when you're starting at 40 is a lot more than when you're starting at 65. So I mean, if if they try to jump it, and if they don't get it and have to back off and then Kian goes, either way, he's going to get a good restart because that's just how this track is. Going to have to be really aggressive with when you try to hit the gas.
We're just a few moments away to see how this restart plays out. Kian Rally going to the bottom side once again. Johnny Eckert up top. Then in row number 2, Austin Beers and Dallas Myhan. We'll see how this restart goes. It could get crazy. We still might see some more fireworks before this one concludes. But here we go back to green flag racing. Another good jump for the 75. 4 laps to go. It looked like Austin Beers was taking a peek. Oh, he got to the outside there pretty quick. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, and Eckert can go for this win. Absolutely, he can go for this win. But above everything else, he just needs to nurse that points lead. As of right now, it's going to be about 39 points over DJ Weeks after this half.
Yeah, he's his DJ Weeks sitting in the 8th position. These last 3 laps should wind down pretty quickly here, unless there is a caution. 2 to go. Kian Rally looks like all he's got to do is just keep running a steady line. I don't think Johnny's going to be able to close in. 1 more lap. You never know. If we've seen some crazy things happen at Bristol before.
I think he's getting a little bit closer. I don't know if he's going to have enough time, though.
Is he going to be able to lay a haymaker here going down into turn 3 one more time? Wasn't able to get things done coming out of turn 4. Kian Rally wins half number 1.
After the line. Oh, no!
Oh, boy. Oh!
Dylan Thomas up in the air.
So fireworks did happen as we crossed the line. Kian Rally, Johnny Eckert, Austin Beers, Vincent Isabella, and Dallas Myhan round out your top 10, or top 5, I'm sorry. I think I had a note Dustin Dewar. I still was surprised. I think he got 16th after all those wrecks he got into. There we see 32. Looks a little cleaner than what he did last time. But we will bring in winner here of half number 1 of the Steel Gladiator 160. And you were the Steel Gladiator out there tonight in half number 1. It looks like you had the perfect strategy. You had the pace, and it worked out for you. How did it feel? How did it go out there for you tonight, Kian?
I didn't expect to be here right now, if I'm being honest with you guys.
Wow.
I'm not a huge fan of this place, and I've always been super duper slow. But I don't know. I guess I turned a new leaf over tonight or something. But yeah, I'm not going to pretend like that pit stop halfway through the race didn't help, obviously. But I'm pleasantly surprised at the pace I've got, and I'm happy that I won the race.
Was there anything different that you did to kind of attack this track here tonight, or was it just something that just kind of fell in your lap here a little bit?
I watched a couple of the faster guys in practice turn some hot laps, went out and did 20 laps or so, and I put a decent qualifying lap together. And the only guy that qualified me, I put him on roller skates halfway through the race and drove past him, and there you go.
Yeah, and, you didn't have to work through too much traffic, but you know, you did have to work through it a little bit. But how important is it to keep kind of? I mean, your car kind of looked like it still could roll right off the hauler. It looked like there wasn't even a dent in it.
It's just the polite answer would be obviously to not hit the wall, but the realistic answer is just you've got to know who to avoid and when to avoid them. You know, I'm not sure if you guys caught it early in the race. I had a super close call.
From Beers.
Yeah, you know, obviously his last name is Beers for a reason, but the guy drives like he's drunk.
Hey,
but you know,
that's not the worst thing that was said in the interview tonight. Just to
Oh
let you
no!
know.
Oh no!
you know,
You're good.
he I don't know. That's 2 weeks in a row now. He's tried to kill me in some way, shape, or manner. I don't think it's on purpose. I'm mostly poking fun, but yeah, there's a lot of guys out here. You just gotta watch your head around. You know, as far as I'm concerned, anything back past 15th was a little bit of a circus, but thankfully I didn't have to worry about that. I wasn't around 15th at all. So, you know, if you qualify well at a track like this, where track position is so important, and you don't get taken out, you're gonna run just fine.
You know, and now that's the thing. You know, you're going to have that track position here to start off here in half number 2, but we're also going to see, you know, you might the people behind you might play opposite to whatever you do on the pit strategies. So that could put you in a hairy situation. So, is there kind of a game plan that you have? You don't have to reveal it, but is there a game plan that you have going here in half number 2?
Yeah, I got some decent tire data. Just in terms of how fast it would wear over the course of a run and how long of a run I could do before the tires absolutely went down the drain. And it's just going to be knowing how hard you drove the car, how fast guys behind you are, and all of that and whatnot. And, you know, I've got some help in the top 10. I think the 98, the 97, and the 90 are all up here. So I'm not by myself. But, yeah, you know, it just comes down to knowing how your car feels. I decided to pit because my car felt like garbage on the first run, and I had learned a few things, and I went out and manage the tires really well. So it just all comes down to how the car feels and how you can drive it.
We'll see how you can drive it. Now it's going to be a little darker here at Bristol, so hopefully the nighttime is the right time for you again, and maybe you can get that broom ready.
Hey, we will see.
Before I send you out, any shoutouts you want to give?
To Johnny and the Outlaw guys again, obviously. You know, letting me come in and have a seat guaranteed whenever I wanted is really awesome, and I really hope that opportunity continues next season. That'd be sick. But they're a great group of guys to work with, and they made my life a whole lot easier the past couple weeks. So hopefully they make it easier over the course of the next 80 laps.
We'll see. Best of luck to you for these next 80 laps, and go out there and get them.
All right, appreciate you, gentlemen. Thank you.
You bet. That was Kian Rally, winner of half number 1. I'm going to try to send him to the right one. There, okay, good. He did it himself. I feel like an old man trying to do that. But there you see where they start here in half number 1. Or half number 2. That's where they finished in half number 1. So, you know, he was throwing those. I would say those were fairly light jabs from.
Oh, they were, and he even said with the whole Bears thing, he said he didn't think it was intentional. He was mostly poking fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. You have to understand with Bristol, the whole leave your feelings at the gate. It's tight. Somebody gets into you, sends you for a little ride. There's a good chance it wasn't intentional, especially if it's on lap 15. I think he understood that though.
You know, and that's one thing. You know, it's going to be so hard not to have, you know, that initial reaction of getting upset, getting mad. But it's just realizing, just harnessing that a little bit. You know, it's almost impossible. You know what Larry Mack trying to tell his drivers. I think he even knows that that's not really possible to totally check your feelings. But you know, not to hold a grudge, not to carry it, because you could put yourself in a worse position if you don't go out there and just kind of do your own thing, or, you know, and who knows, sometimes those payback situations could fall right into your lap in a perfect scenario, and sometimes waiting for that to happen works out a little bit better than you going out there on a vendetta.
Notice I'm starting 30th.
Hey, it's a good run there.
Sure.
Hey, top 30.
Top 30.
Not too pretty bad.
Not too pretty bad. Okay. Speaking of not too bad, I want to point out Dylan Thomas. Looking at it, he started that first half 19th, finished at 6th. I'm wondering, with the lack of cars to pass this time around, if he's going to have a better shot at taking that checkered flag this time.
maybe able to manage his stuff a little bit better. We could see there could be a couple different faces in the top 5 once this race is through, and a couple guys who might even had some bad luck trying to work their way back up front. We're gonna see what happens. We have a whole another 80 laps to do it. The pace truck's gonna get ready to dive off. We're gonna get ready to get ready for 80 more laps in the Steel Gladiator Showdown 160 half number 2. Green flag is out. Kian Rally is going to lead him. Well, the initial start's on green, so he didn't get as good a start as we normally see. But Austin Beers in second. Now, tries to clear. Johnny Eckert unable to do so.
Oh,
Dylan
Dylan Thomas goes around.
No! Caution.
Oh, everybody's gonna pile in.
Big wreck. Big wreck on the front stretch.
Oh, not the me fine car.
Me find Westergreen, Brent Jones in there. Some of these cars don't look like they have a lot of damage. We've seen worse, but that was definitely the big one.
Looks like he just got in there hot and might have tried to carry a little bit too much in there and lost it.
It seemed like just the way he was going to enter the corner, I think he planned on going on the high side, but got a great run on my hand and tried to dive it down low. And I think those, as Carlos likes to say, too much beans there going into the corner. And unfortunately, right in front of the whole field causes the big one. And I think the biggest factor of this, though, I think it's the announcers, Jinx Matthew.
What about the announcer? Yeah, oh my god, that is bad. That is terrible. That might be the worst I've ever had so far. I can't believe it. I was sitting here watching on my monitor guys who avoided the wreck, and you said, what? Announcers Jinx? Oh, and then I realized that is my fault. That's not even his fault. That's my fault.
Yeah,
I said it.
I think, the iRacing's code knew you talked about him and just lost all the grip in the tires there. But, relatively, for how many cars did get involved in this wreck, it seems like they did an okay job, except for a couple hits there for the 6-car Zach Evans, but
a lot of really minor damage.
Minor damage, but kind of a cool moment there with
I was told Robert Hill Jr.
Westergreen.
avoided this wreck.
He did. Robert Hill drove. He actually drove through this one.
We have to see how he gets through this one. Not a lot of people can say that after even just getting a little damage, and that happens right in front of him. Oh,
Watch
man.
out, a peeler zoom by here on the right. Ready?
Oh!
Whoa!
Oh, man.
We also have Seth Rawls on the chat saying, please, no more cautions.
Oh, we're going to have to get some dialysis here shortly.
Just remember that you only turn 21 once, so you might as well go full throttle there, Seth.
With drinking the water.
Kids don't drink.
Yes, just drink water, hydrate.
Yep.
And, do it responsibly. Don't watch a Bristol race and say,
this is
not... Yeah.
not a place to do that.
Yeah, not ideal. But we're going to be going back to green flag here on lap number 6. Kian Rally still holding that top spot. And now it looks like they got maybe timed his starts a little bit better there. I mean, that was probably one of the quote-unquote worst starts, you could say. Still pretty good jump there for the 75.
As long as you don't make any huge errors, you're going to jump out to that nice no cars on your right or left side lead at this track. But like you said, Eckert keeping it really close here to start this one.
That was one of the better restarts. Now we see Vincent Isabella, who dominated the first kind of portion of half number 1 until kind of pit sequence got him mired back in traffic, but see if he can work his way back up, currently sitting in that 4th position right behind Austin Beers.
Excuse me while I do a commentator's curse. Please don't let it happen, because I love hot streaks. That was Johnny Eckert's 8th top 5 in a row on short tracks.
Currently, as of right now, sitting in that 2nd position. Things are looking good, but of course, a long way to go in this one as we complete now on lap number 10.
I do think it's... Oh, I'm sorry. What did you have to say?
I was just saying, how about Robert Hill in the 10th position now, dodging that wreck, moves up, gets a lot of track position. Him and Osborne in the top 10 after a little bit of rough half number 1. So good, good turnaround so far.
And I can't speak as much for Brian because I was kind of watching Robert because he's been going kind of berserk as far as strategy goes lately. But he was running pretty well just about here in that first half before things got ugly. What I was going to say is Austin Beers has taken a peek under Eckert, who both of them are now right behind Kian. DJ Weeks here, his entire season is in jeopardy right now with a damaged race car. He's running back in the 27th spot.
Contact there.
You're good.
Gracie and Peeler, I think, getting together. They're able to keep it together, staying under green. But anyway, sorry about that.
No, you're good. I was just saying, as far as points, this half could be the dagger for DJ Weeks. It was already 34 points. After the last half, it was 39, and I think a 20-point gap would mathematically eliminate him if Eckert outscores him this much.
Yeah, that could be a dagger unless he's in a hurry.
Oh!
It's Robert Hill.
Oh, Robert Hill in the 05.
Oh no,
Brett
that's
Jones.
2 drinks.
Oh
That's
no.
a jinx.
That is, and this time it might have been my bad. Sorry, Robert. Robert Hill was in this race.
He was.
Maybe too soon to say that, but
It's not going to be pretty if you watch Ray Bracey.
oh,
It was not pretty.
And not quite sure what started that, but
It was. I think Robert was going to clear himself up in front of John Lynch and just did not quite have it. He had to run off the corner looking at it. He was going to try and slide up in front of him and just barely misjudged it. Dusty actually got by this one. This is the one wreck Dusty did not get involved in here.
wow, came close, and unfortunately for G-Sean, Brent locking it up. Doesn't look like anyone hit Brent. Wow, nice slide there for the 89 of Brent Jones, able to get through there with no damage.
Unfortunately, I do think they penalized for what the 69 car there just did.
Oh, for coming in there a little hot.
A little hot.
But speaking of the man that was in this race, we do have him coming out of the infield care center. And Robert, you went for a wild ride there. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, just apparently people don't know how to use the damn brake pedal. Fucking idiots, man.
Yeah, it's been a pretty wild night out there tonight, and yeah, unfortunately sent you into into the infield care center. And Robert, I have to apologize too. I think I gave you the announcer's jinx out there tonight.
No, I screwed up and I kind of cleared myself in front of John Lynch there in the 98, and I would have had some damage. We would have been fine, a couple hits here and there, but the 69 just he doesn't have eyeballs or a brain or something. He just piles in there like he's gonna gain 10 spots, and it's just absolutely stupid.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I believe the 69 did get a penalty for his actions out on the racetrack. But overall, we were talking about the pace that you had out there tonight, and unfortunately, the luck side of it didn't kind of go your way here tonight.
Yeah, we were okay. We were probably about a 10th to 12th place car. We kind of struggled a little bit with staving tires in our Mohawk Foundation Ford Mustang, but just I think we would have been all right in the second race if it weren't for that. Just I wish people would use their brain and think a little bit more, like that incident there with Dylan Thomas, the first caution. So many more people could have avoided that if they just used their brakes. And then Ray Bracey here just pile drives into it like he's a fat kid going for cake. I have no idea, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a wild one indeed. Well, next week we head to Nashville. What's kind of your outlook heading into next week?
Yeah, we're gonna have to just throw it all out there, try something crazy, and see what we can do. We got to get a win before this season's over, and we only have 1 week left to do it.
Well, best of luck to you next week. And before we send you off as we get ready to go green, any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, I got to thank Mohawk Foundation for supporting us this season. It's been really up and down, but it is what it is. And got to give a shout-out to Nick Indelicato, Zach Rogers, Dallas Myhand, all the boys back in track there. They're about to go green. Happy birthday, Seth, and good luck, guys.
Yep, thank you. And as we are going back green, Kian Rally gets the lead once again. Good jump for him. And then we sent almost simultaneously there.
Yep.
But as as we're getting back under racing, for one, I'm glad Robert Hill, mentioned the birthday wish to Seth Rollins. I felt like I was almost gonna have to tell him that, but he got it in there. And two, sorry again for the
Another
language.
shot.
It's just what happens here at Bristol.
Brings out the worst in some people and the best in some people. It depends on how you want to look at it.
Yeah, it depends on how much you like the drama that unfolds here out on the racetrack. It's certainly we haven't been short of that tonight. But how about Zishan in the 56? I believe he has no front bumper, but he's currently holding on to the 10th spot.
Yeah, he's doing good there. Not only him, Brian, the Beers Motors. Actually, now that I look at it, Beers Motorsports in general. I was just going to say Capuano, and then I saw his teammate Osborne right in front of him. All three of the Beers Motorsports cars in the top 10 tonight.
I believe the only one that isn't in the top 10 is the 4 of Chris Jordan.
One.
In the 4, but he's running 16th.
And
And usually for the luck he has, I think he'll even take it right now that his car's not totally destroyed. And you see Indel who's had
on wood for you real quick.
Yeah, right. Indel having kind of a rough night from what we normally see him run.
Unbelievable!
Trying to.
Oh no, he just got turned.
Oh no!
He didn't hit anything, but he got turned.
Oh man. Okay.
We cannot say his name on the. What do we do?
I don't know.
It's uncanny.
We might have to say Mr. Hoosier. I don't know. Oh man. At first I thought you were talking about Indel not running in the top 10. I thought you were like mad at him.
Oh, Indel on a comeback drive right now. He's cool. He's doing his thing. Man, he just got touched very slightly.
And right at the point where that touch will kind of turn you the most. And good job by him and even Zach Evans not getting into him, able to stay green flag racing here. And Westergreen too, who had the drama-filled half number 1, currently riding in the top 10. Thinking his head's maybe a little bit more clear after venting.
Got 3 wide behind him here, Nick and Delicato.
We've seen this not work a lot so far tonight, but right now...
Ooh, he looks like he pumped the brakes right at the end.
Yep, and Delicato choosing wisely to survive at least one more corner. That's the battle right now. That's right outside the top 10. Kenton in the 06. Keeler in the 07. And Indel in the 7. All jockeying for right outside the top 10. Here's a battle inside the top 10. That's Dustin Dewar and Brian Osborne. Two guys who had pretty rough first halves as well. Were kind of ping pong balls. And now they're battling for position for the ace spot. Brian's got it. Dusty wants it. It looks like Dewar's one of those guys that's kind of favoring that bottom side as he does work around the 15. But I have to wonder on a longer run on that bottom side if that kind of burns up your right front a little bit more.
I'm watching it right now, and the top 7 really all right up against that wall. And as I say that, Kian Rally is actually ducking down to that middle bottom. He's the first one here in the last, I want to say 20 laps. It's starting to search around other grooves. Now you see he's moved back to the top. Or I don't know. I haven't seen Eckert. That's new. These guys are starting to search around. They were all running right around the top. You see they're starting to try some things out. Maybe they're getting a little bit antsy, not wanting to run behind each other as we're getting close to halfway already in this half.
Yeah, has to be one of the longer green flag stretches that we've had. So maybe the handling going away a little bit on these race cars and kind of moving around, seeing where their car handles best. As looks like a pretty big battle heating up between that third position between Beers and Isabella. Looks like
Isabella might have just
together.
Isabella just got into the back of him, had to check up. My hand took advantage of it. Dallas around Isabella for the 4th spot, working on it at least.
Yeah, my hand again. Another guy who always
Isabella's sliding.
Is he hanging on?
Oh no, he took Zach Rogers.
Oh man, Rogers.
No caution. No caution.
No caution on the inside wall. He's going to try to get back on the track. Oh, man. Then you feel like Austin Powers when he tries to turn around in that hallway. Not a lot of room to do it. able to get going. Unfortunate for the 29, having another strong run inside the top 10. That gets wiped away as he falls a lap down now.
Yeah, that was a complex issue. You saw Dallas, he wiggled a little bit, and he his left rear kind of sent Vincent down sailing into turn 1, and Vincent trying to get it gathered back up. I don't think he knew he was going to get as tight as he did and just barely touched Eckert. I mean, it was nothing intentional, just a lot of guys trying to keep it off each other, couldn't quite get it done.
One guy that's getting it done is at 06 of Alex Kenton.
Yeah,
he's
up to 7th there.
Yeah, he's moved up 10 spots since the start of this race, and working on Capuano on that bottom side. Another guy that's kind of favoring that bottom side, making it work so far, as he got around Dustin Dewar for that 8th spot. Now he's moved up into the 7th, getting around Capuano, and he's looking pretty sporty here.
Yeah, the fun thing about Bristol is, I mean, you've got some guys back there that further back in the field that I guess you'd expect a little bit more to run up front. If it's a different driving style, and some of these short track guys, as I'm sorry, I have to pause for a minute. I think I just saw Nick and Delicato pass 2 cars in 1 corner. 2 cars in 2 corners, that is. I lost my train of thought. I thought they were going to crash.
I was trying to look on the board. Where is Indocato's all the way? How did he get up to 3rd?
That's plus 25 spots.
Yeah,
Movie magic.
Yeah, what just happened? Weren't we talking about him on the outside of the top 10? And he is just flying through the field right now.
He did it around the bottom. 1 corner he got in my hand, and the next he got Beers, and he's pulling away.
Well, I either lost track of time or I felt like just 15, 20 laps ago.
I don't think the top is the quick way around. I'm looking at it right now. He's making up about 2 or 3 tenths a lap on our leaders here. He's making it happen on the bottom.
He is flying. Oh, things are getting tight. Middle
of
the top 10.
Dylan was about to get hooked.
Yeah, Dylan Thomas got bullied out of the 9th spot from Dustin Dewar. And now Thomas falls outside the top 10 into the 11th position. And just looking at those times, as you said, Indelicato, he is coming, and he is coming in a hurry.
Alex Kenton as well. Alex Kenton just got by Dallas Myhand, and he is now working on Vincent Isabella for the 5th spot. And they're 3 wide here.
Oh boy, 3 wide, that could be trouble. Alex Kenton working his way, trying to get in the top 5. He's another guy. Yeah, these 2 guys were just battling. Him and Indelicato battling for outside the top 10, currently in the top 5 now. Saving those tires, making them work here on the long run after this long green flag stint. Now they got lap traffic 3 wide. Is that going to work? Oh, boy. Whew, keep on going.
That got tight.
Kenton had to back off a little bit, so he's going to fall back into that 6th spot. But right now, he's closing in on the back bumper of Austin Beers. He's going to make it look 3 wide. They end up sorting it out. But yeah, it looks like those guys that are kind of favoring that bottom side there, it takes a little bit to pass them, but it's definitely working.
I'm telling you right now, speaking of the bottom, there's blood in the water.
Guys, look at the front. Battle for the lead.
Yeah, that's actually I was going to talk about. Nick and Delicado's joining the battle for the lead right now. He's here.
Yeah, it's going to be a 3-horse race here, as Eckert wasn't able to get a good run out of the corner. He's going to lose that 2nd spot to Indelicato, and Indelicato is on the move. He's a man on a mission, and he is right on the bumper of Kian Rally here now with 25 laps to go.
Oh, he's going to go deep here.
What did your notes have on that number 7?
I didn't really have any for him. Nick and Delicato doesn't usually run OSCA, at least up until this season.
Well, right now things are looking good here in half number 2, side by side, battling for the lead.
He's holding on as much as he can. He's barely hanging on.
Both these guys giving it 115% now here in the closing laps of half number 2.
Oh, the corner, they're good.
Wow, they both made it work without scrubbing too much speed off. Kian
got lap traffic ahead.
That could play a factor right now. It looks like Lineman favoring that bottom side of the racetrack. I believe Dustin Dewar is right ahead of him too. He had issues. We saw him in the top 10 just a few moments ago. Now back in the 20th position. and he could be playing a
Caution!
factor.
Uh-oh!
Caution is
It's
out.
Westergreen.
Oh boy, Westergreen, heavy damage to the front end of his machine. We'll see what brings out the yellow. Oh, John Lynch just... Oh, man. And Lynch trying to stay off of him, but it seemed like wherever Westergreen was spinning, it was the lane that Lynch chose. And
Oh, the pit strategies are occurring, and it is terrifying.
oh boy, Delgado right now, the only one in the top 10 staying out. I believe Carpenter staying out, Adam Tepe, Zach Evans, Brian Osborne staying out on the racetrack.
A lot of guys staying out, and lots of expletives being thrown over the all teams right now. I'm sorry, and Delicado's just on a different pit road. He's pitting now.
Oh, okay, there we go, there we go. My bad, my bad.
I can't help but believe we're going to have some guys stay out there. I mean, I'd be surprised if we didn't have at least one.
So once again, we have the tempers flaring here in the driver's chat. Guys staying out, and there's two of them right now. It looks like maybe Zach Evans is going to come down pit road.
And Delicado overshot his box just by a little bit.
That could hurt on how he loses a little bit of track position. But it looks like Vincent Isabella, I believe, coming out in the third spot. Kian Rally second. Adam Tepe staying out on the racetrack, though, and maybe trying to roll the dice, maybe hoping for a caution-filled race. This might not be a winning move, but for a guy that's outside the top 10, if he can try to hang on in these last 19 laps and finish there, that could be a good night. That's probably where this strategy, I think, could be best-case scenario. As we see, he's running he's one of our playoff drivers. As again, you can see all the playoff oh, there we see Tepe coming down pit road. So everyone, I believe, will be now pitting. Now we'll give the lead back to Kian Rally, but you talked about that little slip up on pit road, overshooting his pit box into Ocado. He's fallen from second all the way back to sixth.
The situation's actually a little bit more surprising than I initially thought. I don't know what happened. He did not do anything else besides slide that box just a hair. Nick and Delicado took 2 tires.
Wow.
And still, and I checked. Kian took 4 tires and came out later. And Delicado is on 2 tires and came out 7th. I have no idea what that is. What happened? I don't know if it's a second pit road thing or what.
That could be interesting because he did have to, I believe, pit on a different. I think he had to pit on the backstretch. So that could be a factor. That was kind of the reason why Bristol went to the single lane. The backstretch could be a big disadvantage, and maybe that's what played out with those 2-tire pit stops, still losing some positions. And there you see Vincent Isabella, who I believe was right back and around the 5th spot when the caution came out. He'll be starting alongside our leader, Kian Rally. Johnny Eckert 3rd, Austin Beers in 4th. So as we re-rack him, Alex Kenton, we see him. He's now in the top 5 with fresh tires. So this is a whole new race here. We're gonna see. We're gonna have a little fun here, boys.
16 to go, and we're away.
Kian Rally getting a good jump once again in that 75, as the leader always does. Isabella's going to fall to the 3rd spot as Eckert moves past, but he's not able to clear him here, so we still got that battle for second going down into 3.
Yeah, we're going to have to see as, Isabella slaps the wall.
Ooh, that's going to hurt, and that's going to let Johnny Eckert get by. Ooh, Dustin Dewar going around as we stay green, going back into the 20th position. Only 21 cars currently scored out. Caution's out.
Caution's out. It's Chris Jordan again. Rogers as well.
Oh boy, Chris Jordan can't get through the banking, so once again, coming a rough half here for Mr. Hoosier, Chris Jordan.
Too much beans.
Oh no.
Too much beans.
Biden.
Zach Rogers just spinning around, just making slight contact with the 4, and it kind of looked pretty similar to what we seen the 03 of Dylan Thomas do to create our first caution here of half number 1 or half number 2.
I have to wonder. I think it's I mean, the track's a lot colder now than it was in that first half, I have to think fresh tires on the cold racetrack makes these things a little bit slick, and because of that, it's just enough to where every now and then maybe the tires are going to jump out from under someone and it's just going to slide. It's what makes sense to me.
Yeah, and it kind of appears it might have even happened with Dustin Dewar that did not bring the caution. We saw him off the pace on the restart. So we'll see how these guys restart. You know, and I think it's a thing too, especially after you have such a long green flag run, the cars might be tightening up a little bit, and all of a sudden you got that fresh tires, and it's almost like you got to kind of relearn what you're doing once you gets that fresh rubber, and that might have been the case there for the 4 car of Chris Jordan. But so far, I mean, hey, you know, he's gotten into those 2 incidents, and still. Mr. Hoosier, I shouldn't be saying this because I'm going to jinx him, but the fenders are relatively clean here for a Bristol race. Yeah, I think I'd done him in. But now, with the waiver rounds, though, too, we went from 21 cars on the lead lap to now Westergreen and Zach Rogers back on the lead lap. And not a lot of time for these guys to move up through the field, but we did see Zach Rogers in the top 10 before he had his spin. So we'll see how much kind of track position, keep an eye out on that 29 on the scoreboard, see how much he can move up through the field.
Yeah, with this many laps left, I mean, it's never over till it's over, but deep down, it's not going to be going for the win. But you never know. we could have a parking lot customer battle for the lead. I mean, maybe we just haven't done a lot of crashing yet. I mean, if you look at Kian's car, Johnny's car, Austin Beers, Nick and Delicato, Alex Kenton, not a scratch on those race cars. I don't know how it's so much cleaner this second half. Usually the second half tends to be a little bit more wild because it's at night. But here, they're keeping it a little bit cleaner, aside from that first parking lot wreck we had.
Yeah, and I think we've seen the longest green flag of the night between the second and third caution there. So hopefully...
Here's some guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's some guys coming over the radio saying, can we go green? They want more laps to race and pass some cars because we're doing quite a bit of pacing here.
And I always feel like once someone says that, that's when things might get a little crazy. But
get a little bit antsy.
Get a little antsy and trying to make those passes work as the field does get 1 to go. We'll get the green flag with 8 laps to go. Does anyone have anything for Kian Rally, who won half number 1? Got his lead, and he has kept it so far. The only real challenge that he's had here in half number 2 was from Indelicato, and of course once they made their pit stops, last caution, that little bit of an issue that Indelicato had along with pitting on the backstretch was really a big disadvantage. And with those 2 tires, can Indelicato come up through the field and challenge for that lead once again, or will we see Johnny Eckert, Isabella, or Beers battle for that win as we are back to green flag racing once again?
A great jump for Eckert. It's as close as anyone's gotten all night on the restart.
Yep, that was about as good as you want it to be. Beers is going to move around Isabella in the 3rd spot. And we'll see how hard that 19 charges up through the field, almost making contact with the 90. That was close.
That would have been a big deal.
Hugging the inside. Almost could have been a big deal here as we're coming down to 6 laps to go here in half number 2. With these 2 guys, Eckert and Beers, battling. Kian liking what he's seeing in his rear view mirror at the moment as he's pulling away just a little bit. Coming down to 5 more laps to go.
Man, something's got to give. They're on top of each other. It's just Kian pulling away. That battling really hurt them.
Yeah, and it's not working in their favor. But they're going to be they want to be the one that's in the 2nd position to try to work their way back up. But right now it looks like it's going to be too little, too late. 4 laps to go here in the closing stages of half number 2. 3 to go now. And it looks like all Kian has to do is just make nice, easy laps and let those guys battle out for that 2nd position. 2 to go now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say not the night Austin Beers needed. I mean, he had a good night for finishing positions, but couple second place finishes by Johnny Eckert doesn't do him any good.
Yeah, it doesn't do many people any good,
White flag.
especially when white flag, you had a guy leading this race not in the playoff spot, so Johnny Eckert, for all intents and purposes, will be the best playoff driver here, as here come the brooms. Kian Rally sweeps Bristol. Austin Beers, you see, hang on to third, Eckert second, Isabella fourth, Indelcado hangs on for the fifth spot. How about Alex Kenton? How about that sixth place? Oh, and wrecking after the finish line. Dallas Myhan 7th, Thomas Capiano 8th, Dylan Thomas 9th, and John Lynch rounds out the top 10. And he is burning it down. Kian Rally pulling off the sweep, and again, not a guy who runs full time, but for the races he runs, he ends up in victory lane quite a bit.
Not really sure where he's going to be next season. He put in the looking for team that he's a free agent. Whether he's back with Outlaw next season or he's somewhere else, he's going to be winning races wherever he goes.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be a hot commodity the way, week in, week out when he shows up. He's usually near the top, and there you see the finishing order for the Steel Gladiator Showdown 160, half number 2. And with that, we'll bring in the interviewers, and top 3, they finished, they swept the way they finished in both halves. So the guy who finished third in both halves is Austin Beers. And Austin, man, it looked like he did have some muscle out there tonight, but not quite enough to catch that 75. What do you kind of take away from the night?
I don't know. You just you can't pass here. One lane track really, and Vince would have won if Vince didn't screw up his. If he pit when we pit on that first half, he would have swept. So it's just big track position race right there, and unfortunately, you just can't pass. It is what it is. We'll take two thirds. Good points day. Probably moved up to second in points, I think now, because
I believe, yeah,
Yeah.
because DJ Weeks did not have an ideal second half.
yeah, it's unfortunate. He's a really cool guy. And he's fun to race against. Just take 2/3, I guess. That's frustrating. You're top 3 every race, but just can't get a win. But I'm proud. Me and Vince ran a good race. So did Johnny. Just a little frustrated, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and certainly, Bristol usually never short of frustration out there on the racetrack, but I think it goes a lot smoother, a lot easier when you're up in the top 3, staying away from a lot of the riffraff that's going on behind you.
Yeah, I had my other 3 teammates going, "Oh my God, they're wrecking," and saying all this stuff the whole race. I'm like, it's pretty clean up here. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So it's a good race up front, I guess. And I think Johnny pretty much has a championship wrapped up, if I'm not mistaken. So congrats to him. He deserves it. I would have liked to, run the 3 races I missed to see how it would have stacked up. But if I finish second in the championship, I'll take it.
Yeah, not a bad spot to be in. That's for sure. But next week we go to Nashville, another concrete racetrack. How you kind of feeling going into next week and try to, solidify that second spot in the standings?
I feel pretty confident. It's the super speedway, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
No.
it's the big one.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a tire saving race. So I feel like I've gotten pretty decent at tire saving lately. So I'm pretty excited to go there and whoop some ASS.
All
Oh,
right.
hey, that's not even the worst thing that's been said in here tonight.
Not even close. Not even close.
Oh, gotcha. I'm ready to whoop some ass next week. There you go.
And
I didn't
not
mean
to
say it.
And not to name any names, because I did get a kick out of it. You might have to listen to interviews after half number 1 about your name. I did enjoy it.
I'll take.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
I'm stirring the pot here.
Wait.
Good on
Was
you.
it the winner of half one that was saying stuff?
I can't confirm or deny that.
Possible.
All right.
It's very possible that could be it.
That's all right. That's all right.
It was all in fun. I will say that, not to stir the pot up too much.
No, you're
but-
good.
Although if I had your last name, I would have took that with a badge of honor, just to know.
It's iRacing. We're here to have fun.
Yeah, that's right. But with that, before we send you off and go celebrate the 2 third-place finishes here tonight, Austin, any shout-outs you want to give?
Beers Motorsports, everybody from there, Ozzy, freaking. Oh my god! How do I forget my teammates? Who's on my team?
Oh,
Chris
Come on,
Jordan and Capuano. There we go. Sorry, they're
buy him
usually,
dinner or something tonight to make up for it.
I usually don't see them on the relatives, so I can't see their names that much during the race.
I believe a certain someone had maybe a point to what they said about your name. I'm
Probably.
kidding.
No,
Oh boy.
Anyway,
I
I'm
think Tom,
sorry.
did Tom finish good? I think Tom ran pretty decent
Yeah,
tonight.
he finished he finished 8th in half number 2 and 9th in
two
half
top
number 1.
tens.
Yeah, 2 top 10s.
Nice. All
And
right,
you don't even remember his name.
they're
Yeah.
improving. They're improving. I'll give them that. But yeah, they're good company. We have a good time in the Discord, and Vince joined us. So, yeah, and then obviously you guys, Carlos, Matt, and Goody. You know, it's awesome listening and watching the broadcast back every week, and then Vic once again putting up with us idiots.
Nice.
Yes, indeed, nice. Yes, indeed. But
And
again,
I'm included in that. I'm included in the idiot part.
oh yeah, I think we race internet race cars, and we're up here commentating about it. So yeah, hey, we're all in this together.
Yeah, we are at Forrest Gump.
All right, well, we'll send you off there. Best of luck to you next week, Nashville, and hopefully we'll see you. We'll be talking to you when you're in victory lane.
You better win a race. Hey, are you? Sorry, I gotta cut it off real quick. What are your plans? Are you racing with us next season?
Yeah. I'm
All right, good.
I'm
'cause
owning 2 teams next season. I'm
Oh.
expanding.
Good.
We're like-
Gotta have you.
We're JGR and we got 2311 coming.
Ooh.
Good. You gotta win a race.
I do. It's probably gonna take me 5 more seasons, but I might get there one day.
All right,
All
best of luck to you, Austin. Hopefully, we'll see you in victory lane here pretty quick.
Yep. See you guys.
See ya. All right, there goes Austin Beers. Next up, I'm gonna go outside the box here a little bit. We're gonna give a quick shout out here
I
to the
saw him
man
in there.
to the man who finished in 6th. We might have surprised him here, but the man who finished 6th, coming from nowhere, he started back in the 17th position, and you didn't just gain track position doing this. You muscled your way up, near the top 5, finishing 6th. Alex, one hell of a run out there tonight. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, the caution came out since lap 15, 16. Went in, got 4 tires, and then just kind of worked my way up. Noticing that most people weren't using the bottom. It's a little tricky. A lot of throttle play, but you could just get it because you could send it in a little bit deeper than they could because they had the wall coming up.
Yeah, and it seemed like you had it rolling. You and Indel had
Yeah.
it rolling at one point. I don't know if I fell asleep. It felt like like one corner we're watching you and Indel battling right outside the top 10. Next thing I know, you're both in the top 5 somehow. You guys had it rolling.
Yeah, he kind of put us 3 wide one time, and I was like, nah. And then I just let him go, and I just followed him. I was like, I know he's fast, so I'm just going to follow his example, and then he just left me in the dust because I think I got caught up with Dallas a little bit in that strand of 3 people. Vincent, Beers, and Dallas.
Yeah, and how does it feel? What momentum can you take away from tonight? Because you were battling there, I think, with Isabella, with My Hand, Beers, I believe, might have been in the mix there as well. These were guys that when they were up front, they were battling for the lead. So you were up there contending with guys like that out here tonight. What kind of confidence does that take, not only moving forward to Nashville next week, but even maybe moving on into next season?
I just gotta say, NAR is not a joke. We unfortunately get into mess ups here and there, but we move up through the field. Unfortunately, got bad breaks, but we're coming. Might take us till the end of next season to get up there completely to fight for those wins, but I say we're coming. We're tracking.
I love that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Matthew.
Yeah. I was gonna say, usually with OSCA, it's still a relatively young league in terms of a bunch of other leagues out there. So the heavy hitters, the guys who usually run top 5 and kind of top 10, are the guys who usually do so. And tonight, this was kind of, I think, my first time seeing you on the racetrack, at least up here from the booth, and competing like I have in last season, and go like, Alex Kenton, huh? So I mean, is this kind of a point? Is this kind of we can expect a little bit more of this out of you? Do you think?
Yes, it's more of the tricky tracks that is kind of more of my specialties. Like when I was Darlington Race 2, no hood, in top 5.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you guys were trying to pull me up from the Discord. Unfortunately, we were on the wrong one. But yeah, it's the tricky tracks that I'm decent at. But I expect to be top 10 at minimum. That's gonna be my bare minimum. If I want. Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that confidence and again, I've been there where you feels like you have decent pace. Sometimes working your way up, if you're not the best qualifier out there, that can kind of set you behind the 8 ball. That's for sure. And even with that tonight, especially in half number 2, 17th, that's about mid pack, and that's where a lot of the craziness happens. And again, using a little bit of that strategy of getting those fresher tires, but not only that, once you got that track position, you were hanging on, tooth and nail right there up there with those boys, and looking, really excited to see what the future holds for you. If we can, hopefully we'll talk to you a little bit more than just once in a blue moon here.
Oh yeah, I'd be happy to be up here more, as long as my driving can show I can do it.
Yeah, I think certainly it can, and it certainly showed there tonight. But before we send you off there with a nice 6th place run, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, thanks to NAR, Adam Peeler for kind of putting us all together. Unfortunately, I had a bad race, but also thanks to all of our veterans, high active duty, and don't forget to look up your Wounded Warrior charities. Help them out.
Hey, yeah, like that. I like that indeed.
Yeah,
but
that's a good one.
Awesome. But with that, we'll let you celebrate your top 10. Hopefully, it becomes old news for you here in the near future, and you'll be more looking forward to being in that top 3 interviewing with us more often.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Yep. Thank you. That's Alex Kenton finishing in the 6th position, and very impressive the way he did it there tonight. But with that, unfortunately, we're here for the long interview here now. We're going to have to bring Johnny Eckert in.
Kicking my legs up. I got a drink in my hand now.
Yeah, you got a drink in your hand. Maybe eat some mac and cheese that's made nice and fresh for Johnny Eckert.
Popcorn.
Yes. Disgusting. No, if there's fighting, I got the popcorn for you.
Okay, but at some point, it won't be tonight because Carlos has already given you it's time to stop. We're gonna have to have that. We're gonna have this mac and cheese conversation, a debate at least at some point. But anyway, Jay, 2 2nd place finishes tonight. I think for all intents and purposes, it seems like you have the championship locked up. So a solid points night, and you got to see your teammate end up at victory lane. So it's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just glad this is over. This has been a nightmare week, preparation, whatever you want to call it. Just, we knew Bristol was going to be the question mark when we came into the chase, and you didn't know, it was kind of just get there and see what happens. I had absolutely no expectations, and I was preparing for worst case scenarios in every which way. I really didn't think I was going to come out of here with two 2nd place finishes, that's for sure. But I really didn't have it in race 1. I didn't have the pace with the cautions, and just kind of, short run speed wasn't there, but I had enough long run speed, it felt like, to hold off anybody who put a charge on me. So, and thanks to Kian too. I mean, it wouldn't have been possible without him. So, it all worked out in that way. But tonight's been a struggle. I hate Bristol.
So
Are you sure?
Yeah, right. Well, although to be fair, I might have to rely on you a little bit, Matthew, here. But if I'm thinking correctly, this might be actually Johnny's worst night so far here in the playoffs, that he didn't come away with a victory.
His worst night. Has he won or have every single one in the playoffs so far?
I believe so, haven't you, Johnny?
No, I finished 2nd in Charlotte.
Oh,
And
Power 2nd. That's a shame.
I think I finished 4th to Dallas in race 1 too. Was I 4th?
Oh.
I think I was 4th. something like that.
You might be right. So your second worst, night here at Bristol. But you know, all joking aside, it was you know, again, a good solid points night, and yeah, it seemed like you guys had it worked out pretty good. You know, unfortunately for your teammate DJ Weeks, he was battling for you. He had an unlucky break here in half number 2, but all in all, it seemed like for a team standpoint too, it seemed pretty solid, and it's got to feel pretty good that you can kind of go into Nashville next week and kind of relax and just go out there and kind of go get it.
Yeah, that was the plan in the ladder series coming into tonight. I had a good points gap there, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't have to worry about the ladder series, so I could focus on preparing for the Xfinity race at National Super Speedway. Was not preparing for 2 second place finishes though tonight, not at all. I had absolutely no expectations, but things it just worked out for me. I think a lot of DJs' bad luck just fell on the positioning of that one caution in race 1. Someone stayed out and then pitted someone had stayed out one caution. I think it may have been Vince, I don't know, but someone stayed out and I was 5th, I think, and DJ was 6th, and then they pitted, and then we each moved up a spot, and because of that I started on the outside, he was on the inside, and I think if roles were reversed, we probably would have been in the exact same positions he ended up in. So, you know, I'm pretty fortunate that I walked out of here tonight with what I got. But, you know, overall it was a good night for the team. The team points was important.
Ouch.
But yeah, I apologize to you for that. But
I'm not gonna lie. A couple of times I was like, outlaw 1-2, outlaw 1-2. Yeah, white flags. It's over.
Yeah, we had that was a big one for me, and you know, because it's hard to keep everybody motivated and everything, because once it starts to fall apart for everybody, it just getting everybody to stay pushing in the same direction can be difficult. But it's not, you know, that's not my job, that's not DJ's job, that's not any specific driver's job. It's just ultimately it's just trying to keep the community of the drivers that we got here, you know, pushing the same direction. And you know, it's a big thing that we've been able to, in my opinion at least, take full advantage of this season, because we've had a rotating door of drivers. But when it came down to it, at least for the other 2 cars, it seemed like, but when it came down to it, everybody was really, someone was always there just to pick up where someone else was lacking or where someone else left off. So yeah, it's good to see that happened again tonight. But I feel for DJ though, because he ran all, you know, the regular season was rough for him, but the chase, you know, he really lit it up, and he was becoming that guy that you didn't really expect to be putting such a strong push on, and tonight just kind of derailed everything that he had going on. So I feel bad for him, and yeah, thinking about him tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, and certainly hopefully he can get back up there and contend for that second spot going next week into Nashville. But before we let you go and celebrate the number two finishes, any shout outs you want to give, or any more shout outs?
Yeah, well, first off, thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. Thanks to the league for putting on the race. I got to thank for my car, OSCA and Harpoon Designs, for supporting me this season and getting me on the racetrack. So without them, that wouldn't have happened. So I want to thank them for that. Got to thank Pro Air Medical Supplies and Equipment for supporting the team this season. Yeah, we got one more week. A lot of racing left to do, but you know, tonight was really a surprisingly glorious night for Outlaw for me. Just, you know, as team owner, just this is a big deal for me. So I'm happy about that, and I'll let that sink in the next couple days. But yeah, we got to do it one more time.
One more time, and then we'll get that speech ready. I'm sorry, Matthew, you got anything?
I just want to add one thing. It's not even a question. Johnny, you sound pretty surprised at the short track results. I'm not adding too much here because I know we got to get to Kian. Are you aware of how good numerically you've been in short tracks in OSCA?
Numerically, no. But
okay,
I find, just real quick, I find that short tracks fits with my road racing enjoyment.
Yes.
So I find that those two cross over pretty well. So that might explain that.
I
But go
will
ahead.
tell you, in OSCA history, this is our 7th short track event. I'm sure people watching are getting sick of me saying these sorts of words at this point. That means we have had 14 halves at short tracks in OSCA. You finished top 5 in 10 of them. And tonight marks your 10th top 5 finish on short tracks in a row.
Wow.
I don't know if you were aware of that, but that dates back to USA Season 2.
Oh jeez, yeah, I still have nightmares about that race. It haunts me sometimes. that was the midnight race where Robert was leading on Canada Day, and then the second that the clock changed over, the second the clock changed over to the next day, he spun from the lead and they passed him, and he never led another lap the rest of that night. That was I felt bad for him then, but it's still funny to me. But yeah, no, I had no idea, and I'm a big fan of stats. So if you have more of those things, don't be afraid to shoot them over to me.
He's never shy. Yeah, he's never shy getting those stats out. So Matthew's your guy to go to for that.
Oh, appreciate that. Yeah, that's good to know though. And it's a good streak to be on.
Well, all right. With that, I'm gonna let Carlos just kick you in the butt and kick you out of the booth.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Good night, Carlos. I hope you don't dream of my name again.
Good night.
He's already asleep.
Get out of here. All right.
Bye.
Bye, Johnny. Coming home with 2 second-place finishes, and we'll get the vote. He's been busy sweeping up victory lane, waiting for us to interview him. That's Kian Rally, and Kian. Once again, having that track position, it looked like things went pretty smoothly. I think the only real contender out there for you tonight was that 7 car of Indelcato.
Yeah, honestly, I hate to say that track position more than anything won me the race in the second half, but it was impossible to do anything out there. So it's a good thing I played my cards right in the first half and was able to start first. But yeah, I found it incredible that he was able to charge up there from, I don't know, Timbuktu and challenge for the lead. And as soon as he got there, it was like he was a sitting duck. But, yeah, I guess I'm lucky to have won both races tonight.
Yeah, well, luck and skill indeed. It looked like the 2 guys that had it figured out on the bottom, Indelcato and Kenton, and I believe a little pit road issue for Indelcato kind of put him back there into traffic and never was able to recover once he got right before
I'm not sure what the deal was with the pit lanes tonight, but honestly sucks that he had to deal with that. It's just not fair, but
Yeah, it was. I believe they did have the dual pit roads tonight, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, so that makes things a little tricky, especially when you're used to one thing or the other. But all in all, at the end of the day, your bid. I was kind of saying, I think is this your 3rd different car you won in this year?
Yes.
Right? Well, yeah, because that was established a while ago. But especially you were talking about in your interview after half number 1 that you're a free agent. You're hoping to stay in the 75 car next year, but no matter where your butt's going to be sitting next year, they know they got a race-winning driver.
I think honestly at this point it would be stupid to not put me in a car, but
yeah, well,
I can't make anybody do anything, so.
Hey, I mean, you put it bluntly, but very true, and able to get it done once again and pull off another sweep here on the season, and I think it can only mean for what if you're owner, they got to think what you could do if you run the full schedule. I think only good things, and I think the only reason maybe why you wouldn't be seen in an outlaw car next year is if the guy we just interviewed, he might be a little worried. You might be contending with him for the championship.
If I had to pick anybody to fight with over a championship, it would be him, obviously. But I think this is overall consistently the fastest team out there. I don't think that exactly was the case at the beginning of the season, but a lot of shifting and whatnot has happened. Lots of people going different places and whatnot.
Don't you dare drop that on me!
This is an unintentional.
What you were saying.
Unintentional pun.
That was good. It was good.
You guys put someone just as fast in the car, so it's all right. But arguably faster at most racetracks. But it's a well-balanced race team. When everybody is there, everybody holds their weight, pulls their weight really well. Yeah, like I said, it would be great to come back next year and run the full schedule for them. I just have to make sure running the full schedule is something I can do. And obviously, I assume if they want me to do that, I'll find out eventually. If not, I don't know, I'll just run my own car. Who cares? But it's good to have a group of guys that want to run races with you, and they work really well with each other. I enjoy being in there. It's really easy to keep a cool head around all of those guys. They make that really easy for me, which is not a simple thing to do. So, yeah, again, shout out to them tonight. Johnny looks really good in the standings. I think he may have gone a little bit easy on me for his championship's sake tonight, but, doesn't matter. A win is a win, so.
Yeah, two wins are two wins. That's definitely a performance. Just talking to Johnny, he seemed just relieved getting out of here with 2 second-place runs. So he might have had a little bit more in the tank, but I think he was probably stressed out a lot with the point standings as well. But
he was right in front of the circus too. I mean,
yeah,
if he had slipped up, he would have fallen into the clutches of either the 1 or the 19, and at that point, who knows what's going to happen to you? So, I mean, it's I'm happy he was there more than I was, because I don't know. I don't think if I was in front of one of them, I would have finished the second half as well as I did. But didn't really have to fight for anything tonight, which sucks. And I wish we had gotten some more green flag racing in, but played my cards right and it went my way. So I'm not going to complain any more than I have already.
All right. Well, next week we go to Nashville. Another concrete track. We're going to the Super Speedway. What do you feel about your chances to maybe not pull out the broom here again like you did tonight, but maybe end up in victory lane at least once next week?
I have never run these cars there, so I've got a lot of practice to do. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to see the top 5 tonight, but I was wrong, so I don't know. I'll go put in an hour or so of practice, turn some laps, see how I feel about it. I think it's going to be interesting. It's definitely one of the harder tracks we've seen all season. But it's wide. There's a lot of room to make stuff happen. A lot of room to correct mistakes opposite of here. Like you said, it's also concrete. So, I don't know. I think it'll be a toss-up. I think you'll just see the typical guys come to the front. The 90, the 7, myself, the 97, all those guys. So, I don't know. I'm excited. I think it'll be a real show of talent and skill because it's just something totally different. I don't think this league has ever gone there, and a lot of guys have never gone there at all. But, yeah, I'm excited for it.
I can give you a little incentive to go after the win.
What's that?
After tonight, you and Nick and Delicato share the title of most wins this season with 6 apiece. Might want to have that to
Neither
yourself.
of us are in championship contention. That's interesting.
I know, that's the funny thing about it. Other than that, Eckert's got 5. So I mean, hey, you could have that title to yourself if you go out and win a couple of races next week.
We'll try.
Ooh, I love this. The incentive that both you and the 7 who aren't racing out there for points can go out there and try to get that win. And I think even if you told John, he probably wants to even up that stat. He'd rather see even a 3-way tie, or maybe
Johnny
he'll come
sweeps
from behind.
It's his.
Yeah, it's his too. So there's a lot on the line going into next week, and I think you guys should make it interesting. You've seen it. You guys do it before at Montreal, a 3-way battle, and I'm fully expecting to see that same thing next week at Nashville.
Yeah, hopefully the fenders stay on the car a little more than they did in Montreal. I think things have definitely cooled down a little bit since then. But yeah, that's just what happens when you have enough formidable guys up front that can fight for race wins. You're gonna have that kind of stuff. And I think that's what makes it interesting. It's no fun if one guy runs away with it and just wins the whole thing by a million miles. So we'll certainly try our best. I've had no issue putting guys running for points on notice. Obviously, there were 5 of them stacked behind me all night tonight, and they didn't pass me. So
yeah, so it looks pretty good. But with that, before we let you go celebrate your wins, you might have to join Seth Rawls' party there. You might be in the same boat.
He's probably on his 50th drink.
Oh,
he told me he's actually about to go to bed. I think
yeah.
After a shot of caution, I think he might be tapping out.
Yeah,
hopefully we see him before 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
God, I hope so.
he might just be recovering from a hangover, but,
happy birthday to him. Obviously, that's always a pivotal thing for everybody. Everybody loves a birthday, especially a guy as good as that. So I'm glad he got to celebrate it and got out and do some fun stuff today. So, again, for the shout-outs, the guys over at Splash and Go Graphics painted beautiful race car. I'm gonna see if I can get an inverted. I'm gonna try to get an inverted color car for next week in Nashville. See what we can do. Maybe put a white car out on track instead of a blue one. You know, as much as I like the blue one, I like to change it up every now and then. If we're gonna be running the full season, we gotta have more than one paint scheme. So, you know, and then again, Johnny, the guys at Outlaw, once again for letting me drive the car. I'm never gonna complain about having a chance to come in and run for a group of guys that good. And I'd like to thank most of the guys that I raced around tonight for not. Most of the guys I raced around tonight, not all of them, for not trying to kill me at every given chance they got. But that's just how it goes, you know. But yeah, and all you guys put on the broadcast always, I'm sure it was enjoyable, despite the fact that we spent 40% of our laps under caution. But you know,
Actually, wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it was not that bad at all.
what are you gonna do? It's a short track. You got guys going for broke. You got guys that didn't get enough practice. It's just part of the deal. So.
Yeah, you know, we'll say you at least were on the lighter end, the more fun-spirited part of the drama tonight. We just had a little bit of everything out here tonight. It was a good time. Yeah, that's Bristol, baby. But all right, Kian, we'll let you go celebrate those wins, and best of luck to you next week at Nashville.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.
Yeah, you bet. And all right, with that though, any closing words while we wrap up the broadcast here?
Man, I'm just looking forward to next week. I wish I could say it was a little bit closer in the championship. I'm actually watching the spreadsheet as Vic updates it. The gap going into next week is Vincent Isabella has to somehow make up 50 points. Austin Beers is 52 points behind Eckert. I think max points is about 64, I want to say. So, at the very least, it's going to be a fun race next week. Happy I get to be up here in the booth to watch it with you guys, and I hope everybody enjoyed Bristol tonight and some unkind words said in interviews.
Yeah, a little bit of drama here and a little bit of drama that can play out next week. There's still maybe a puncher's chance for Isabella and Beers to get the championship in our season finale next week. And of course, we do have the win title on the line as well. That'll be sure fun to see how that plays out. And again, you can check that out right here on 3 Wide Racing Television next week, same time, same place. But until then, for Matthew, Carlos, and myself, until next time, good night now.